How to deal with negative people. Well, well, well. Let's say you have a friend and you've been the best person you can to this friend. You've done everything for them, and you've let them know that the way that they're behaving is negatively impacting you, and they have done absolutely nothing to change. Then you cut them out. No Miranda warning, no three strikes and you're out. Cut them out. Block their number, block them on all your socials. You don't need that. You don't need that crap. Our time on this earth is very finite. It's very, in the grand scheme of things, we only get a little bit of time. You do not want to waste it on people who are not putting forth the effort to be the best person they can for you when you are being the best person you can for them. When it comes to cutting out negative, toxic friends, it's easier to do. But when it comes to family, well, that's a whole different story. You know why they call it a family tree? It's because sometimes those branches need a trimming, and sometimes you gotta be the one to do the trimming. I'll give you an example. When I was 20 years old and I recognized how mentally abusive my folks were and horrible they were, I moved out. I moved out into a homeless shelter, which was also a halfway house. In retrospect, that was a terrifying time. But within a week, I found my first apartment and had the best upstairs neighbors that I could have possibly asked for. They treated me like family. And that's just an example. When you cut bad stuff out of your life, when you make room in your life, the universe or God or whatever you believe in will put things in place. It will fill those gaps with good things. But the universe can't fill that gap with good things until you make the room. Whether you're male or female, when it comes to dating, it's pretty much the same thing. If you're just seeing someone and they're already showing signs of being a negative person that just wants to drag you down, and you've been the best person you can to them, block the number, block them on all the socials. Now, in theory, it's a lot easier than in actual practice, but once you learn to do it, you will make so much room for good in your life. Just by letting the negative toxic people in your life that are sucking the energy out of you and not giving anything in return despite your efforts to tell them that they are hurting you, man, you gotta cut them out. Now, if you're living with someone, that's a bit of a different story. It's a bit harder to get away from something like that. But I can tell you that if you are in an abusive relationship or, a relationship where you've been the best lover that you can, you've been the best human being that you can, and they still decide to treat you like trash, just pack your stuff and go. You might worry about the stuff that, that you're leaving behind, but trust me, you're going to be entitled to half that stuff if you've been with them for a while. So don't even worry about it. You have to think of it like this. What advice would you give to your best friend? Whether you are dating someone, whether it is family, you have to treat yourself like someone that you are giving advice to that you care about. And that could be hard. It's hard to turn the mirror around on yourself and, and take a look at that. I get it. But what you don't need is someone bringing hell into your life. And again, when you free up that room in your life, life will fill it with beautiful things. You can't even imagine the good that can come your way just from cutting the negative and bad people out of your life. I'm one of those people where it's easy to give advice to someone else, but when it comes to taking my own advice, I am absolutely horrible. But you gotta be able to turn that mirror back around on yourself. Now, if you have kids with this person, that makes it a lot more complicated, doesn't it? But let me tell you a little story. I have two sisters, and at one point or another in their lives, they left a very abusive relationship and started over in a women's shelter. And they went on to live their best lives. They went on to having their own place, knowing that they would never be treated like that again. I saw one of my sisters when she was going through this, at the bus station when I was just, taking a ride from here to there. The look on her face it was like a mugshot. It conveyed so much. It conveyed that she would never be hurt like that again. It conveyed that she was Mama Bear, and you were not gonna mess with her. So don't tell me it can't be done. Don't tell me it can't be done. I've seen it done with both of my sisters, once of them twice over. Yes, it's hard. Yes, it's difficult. Absolutely, absolutely. But in the end, you have to choose, no matter what the kind of relationship is, from friendship all the way up to someone that you've had kids with. Do you want to keep living in the hell you've been living in where you are being mistreated? Or do you want to make that room in your life for all those good things to come? Because those good things will come. But you got to make the room. And when you get tired enough of a situation, you will know that you got to get out of there no matter what the odds. In the grand scheme of things, we are only afforded a little bit of time to experience the miracle of life. Why let it be consumed with people who only care about themselves and want to drag you down? And sometimes that means not hanging out in the same spot where you and the person you've cut out have hung out before. That is no longer your spot. Because in a worst case scenario, if it's someone you've been dating, you're gonna get the, "Oh baby, I've been missing you, and I've been working on myself," and you're gonna get caught up in those feelings. You can't help it. And they're gonna try to suck you back in. But if you allow yourself to get sucked back in, within about a week, you're gonna go right back to that hell that they've been putting you through. I want to see you live your best life. I don't want to see you dragged down by anyone and letting anyone have the autonomy to think that they can do so. You're a beautiful human being and you do not deserve to be treated as anything less. If this video helps at least one person, then it's been totally worth it. Peace and love. I'll see you guys soon.